What it do, man? It's your boy, O to the D, aka Knowledge General the Jews. You know how I do. Also known as Hebrew Judah on these YouTube streets, aka Leatherface. And you gotta remember, Leatherface is a franchise signed the mayor. What up with it, man? I'm kind of mad right now because I already did this. I did 15 minutes of it, and I messed around and stopped it too fast, and there was still some more left. And I wanted to get that on there, so I had to come back and redo the whole thing, because I could have just did that 3 and then put it together, but it took longer for me to put shit together. So on one flush out is good. So we're going to relight up this J that I smoked while I was watching the movie with y'all, but now I'm going to have to watch it again with y'all, with this little piece. But it's alright though, man. This is a very good premiere you're about to get. Very informational. Very informational. Hashtag info community. Hashtag info community. Okay? Info community. We're bringing the information back, man. Shouts out to everybody that's doing that, man. Also, be on the lookout for my other premiere. It'll be in a couple hours. As well as 3.0, which will be dropping early tomorrow morning. As it'd be like 1, so yeah. But let's get to this. This is about those deadly light bulbs, those flourishing light bulbs, the curly light bulbs, the energy efficient ones that they want you to mess with. This is why. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, man, so we can get to the procedures, of the process.
Hustlers, thieves, and prostitutes. Young homie, think before you shoot. Murderers. Where our children go, when there's no place safe where they go. Trouble may come in sometimes. You'll get pulled over by one time, and when in 1999 your minds didn't even make any strides. Murder all around the whole world is nauseating. Everybody hating, everybody overrated, while everybody acting agitated. I thought we graduated back in the saddle way upon the battle stage. Patient is a work perfection, you know ain't nobody perfect. And when it hurts, open up the door. No, no. See, we're losing this world we love, and it looks like the sin it won't end. So I'm reaching high up above. Lord, let your blessings be in. And let's change the world. Let's change the world.
I'm a Jew, he a Jew, she a Jew, we some Jews. Wouldn't you like to be a Jew too? Only if you're in the bloodline.
Good evening and welcome to 16 by 9, The Bigger Picture. I'm Mary Garofalo. They are the energy savers. They keep pushing on us. You know those swirly light bulbs you see everywhere? But wait until you hear what our Alison Vushnick uncovers about these bulbs and what some say it's doing to their bodies. Imagine turning on a light bulb and only 20 minutes later, your face looks like this. Brenda Ryder says it happened to her.
When I looked in the mirror and saw my
Now that's crazy.
face, I was absolutely horrified. I didn't exactly know what had caused it or whether it could be controlled or whether it was short-term or long-term. So I was just completely aghast.
And there are others.
I get dizzy.
Weeping pustules.
I can't focus
It was
well.
more like
I
an
just
open
feel all
It's
wrong.
going to make a lot of people sick.
They all say it was these, the curly compact fluorescent light bulbs, making them sick. And when they remove them,
Pain went away within a couple of days.
And my hands started healing immediately.
you won't find curly bulbs here anymore. Jane Pentela changed all the bulbs back to incandescent. In her basement in St. Catharines, Ontario, Jane used to craft for hours, very close to the compact fluorescent light bulbs. Then a mysterious rash started to appear.
On my arms, on my neck, behind my ears, down into my chest, On my legs next, I've had all sorts of blood work done, and everything comes back negative, every possibility.
Skin problems, headaches, joint pain from turning on a light? Hard to imagine. So we started investigating. So exactly what do the bulbs emit? First concern, it may be what's coming off the bulbs. Ultraviolet radiation. That's right, scientists say the bulbs give off UV, like the sun does. We know this because Health Canada, they're the people who make sure the products and drugs you use are safe, told us in an email that the CFLs are not provided with a prismatic diffuser that filters ultraviolet radiation out. Therefore, there may be skin sensitivity issues, especially in people with certain skin diseases. And they're referring to people like Brenda. She suffers from lupus and is demanding the bulbs carry a warning for everyone.
Consumers ought to be aware that if they have a sensitivity towards UV, these light bulbs could make their condition worse.
So how much UV radiation do the bulbs give off? And if they can give off UV, can they cause skin cancer? Here's the disturbing thing. No one can tell us. Health Canada, the government agency that's in charge of protecting your health, well, they're testing the bulbs. But we've tried to talk to them for 10 months, and so far they have refused to answer our questions on camera. So after 10 months of no's and not availables, we had to go all the way to London, England to get some answers. It seems their government health people are happy to talk to us, and they have real science to back what they say, because they've tested the bulbs.
It wasn't related to the brand or where we bought them. It was a random sample of them. About 1 in 5 were emitting unusual levels of UV light.
Unusual levels. So we asked Magda Havis. She researches and tests the bulbs to explain the UV.
So what he was saying in layman's terms is he just went and bought those kind of light bulbs, period. Didn't matter what brand, no matter what store, just randomly. And they all do the same
All compact fluorescent light bulbs contain mercury, and it's this mercury that's needed to produce the ultraviolet energy to...
So you got to think about it. What I'm showing you in these series of these premieres is I'm showing you things that they're doing that's weakening your immune system. The bad foods, you got the light bulbs that everybody got in their house right now, and they don't even understand that this is really messing you up. It's not good for you. But we don't get it because they tell us it's energy saving and it's okay. You know, the common denominator in all of this is the FDA and all these other places that say this stuff is cool. It's just the same members that's saying it's all right for these deadly things that they giving us and doing to us and saying that it's okay. And then we do our own research and we realize it's not. Right? But we still believe these people. And they're part of the same government that you believe everything else that they say, apparently.
cause the fluorescence to take place in the first place.
And compact fluorescent light bulbs are everywhere. Part of the push to go green. We're told, do your part to save the environment. And the old light bulbs, the inefficient ones like incandescents, are being banned in Canada in 2012.
This doesn't have a filter on it, so this would emit high levels of UV.
Now, that was out in Canada, you know what I'm saying, in 2012. You already know, I mean, they ain't banned them out here because I haven't seen them at the store, but they had less and less of them.
Could damage the skin.
Andrew Langford leads a UK advocacy group, fighting to find out more about the potential dangers of these bulbs.
We already know that it's causing things like blistering and skin sensitivity, but time will tell as to whether or not the UV light is causing skin cancer.
No warnings have been issued in Canada about UV. The British scientists also recommend these, with the curly part inside a cover. They tested UV-free. You can buy these bulbs in Canada as well.
Good for you that you're saving energy, but I would also say don't sit right beside them until we know more.
Dermatologist Dr. Cheryl Rosen says it's the same advice for children.
They should be at a distance until we know more. I think the key point here is that we don't know the whole story yet.
So what about the people who make and profit from CFLs, the manufacturers? For months we contacted the big three, Philips, General Electric, Osram Sylvania, and their Lighting Industry Association. Only Philips told us that they were investigating UV concerns. All three companies maintain their bulbs meet industry standards and are safe. but each time we asked for an on-camera interview, we were denied. Health Canada has never set rules for UV, so there are no rules being broken.
If we're going to have these devices, there should be proper standards for them.
So when Jane heard the warning from British scientists, it upset her. Their advice: don't get too close to the bulbs and limit your exposure time.
I'm upset, very upset, that this has happened without any warning. There was no warning attached to these fluorescent bulbs. Do not work within so many feet. Do not use more than so many bulbs in your home. There was nothing.
People should be aware of this and avoid being in close contact with them for more than an hour.
As for Brenda, she found a doctor who treated her and her skin cleared up. She knows people who suffer like her are shunned, so she started a support group.
No one really advised me or even, I think, particularly believed me. I had a strong reaction from other sufferers who said that it was such a relief to know that somebody else understood and shared their experiences of these lights.
So we told you how these energy-saving light bulbs may be causing skin rashes in some people, but that's not the only potential problem we've uncovered. Just listen to what others say is happening to them. Here's part 2, dirty energy.
This is reading 580 roughly. So once again, we have a really bad bulb.
What exactly is she doing? Well, this is Dr. Magda Havis, and she's testing all sorts of bulbs for dirty electricity. Dirty what? Dirty electricity. An expert in her field, basically she measures power quality and radio frequencies that different bulbs give off.
Do you see that's jumped up to over 400? So just one light bulb can give very, very high readings. And there's no way of knowing that this is worse than the others just by looking at the package.
She says on her meter, for a bulb to be considered clean, it should read less than 50.
A lot of people are responding negatively to these light bulbs. They get headaches, they get other body aches and pains. Some of them have difficulty sleeping, they're tired. Some have mood disorders. Unfortunately, they have been told that these light bulbs might be making people in their homes sick. So one light bulb gives 500. Can you imagine just 2 of them, 4 of them? Would put them over 1,000. Can I turn it off yet?
All this is controversial. Scientists do not agree if people can suffer from what's called electromagnetic hypersensitivity. Basically getting sick from the electronic devices we use and the stuff they give off. But what about the people we met who say they're suffering, like Larry Newman?
I was just blindsided by it.
Here's the thing about Larry Newman. He's Dr. Newman, a neurologist, and that migraine headache hit him like a truck.
I can tell you from my experience, there's something about those bulbs that triggered my headache.
At his New York clinic, he's seeing more and more patients complaining about the compact fluorescent light bulbs.
These new light bulbs, Doc, I swear they're giving me headaches. So I want you to look right over there.
He knows some will dismiss what he's saying. They'll say there's no scientific evidence linking the bulbs to headaches. It's never been proven.
I can tell you from other patients that they definitely see a relationship to exposure to that light bulb and developing a headache.
We just installed a new light that unfortunately is not eco-friendly.
One of those patients is Amanda Gabbard.
Right here, it's like just my forehead feels very warm. And I feel the dull pain behind my eyes, a little bit of dizziness, and a little bit of fatigue.
In her home, you'll only find old-fashioned incandescents. She got rid of the CFLs.
I'm very confused by it. It's kind of mind-boggling. So I think it was just a light bulb. What can it really do? And isn't it supposed to be this great thing? And it's eco-friendly and it's wonderful for the environment and everyone's doing it.
But she can't escape it. When she took a trip to Italy and stayed in this hotel, her room was loaded with the curly bulbs. Instantly, she knew.
I thought, oh no. I came all the way to Europe to have this wonderful vacation. I thought it's going to be ruined. We had to take them out immediately.
Once stores start to replace their light bulbs and malls start to replace their light bulbs and everybody in their homes start to replace their light bulb, there's going to be a subset of people with migraine who may not be able to venture out until they find a way around it.
Dr. Christine Lay, a neurologist and headache expert, says people like Amanda prove it is happening, and science needs to catch up.
I think a lot of times things are introduced and then it's the people that will begin to say, no, wait a minute, something's going on here, something's not right. So what we hope is that as more people speak up, more scientists will begin to become involved.
Health Canada says, yes, it's true. The compact fluorescents do give off radio frequencies, but they say the amounts are safe and thousands of times below limits that have been recommended. As for the lighting companies, they say their bulbs meet industry standards and are safe. Again, no one would talk to us on camera.
Health Canada has a serious responsibility, and they're not living up to that responsibility. They're right now just trying to deny that there is a problem without recognizing what they should be doing to actually investigate it rather than just deny it blindly.
Those who suffer say their health problems are real, and there's more to it than just headaches.
They were all throughout my house. Just about every room in my house had a bulb or two in it.
Kevin Byrne says his pain was like having arthritis. So convinced dirty electricity is, well, dirty, he quit his job to test other people's homes for what he calls electrical pollution, starting with the curly bulbs.
When you get closer to the bulb, you can see the significant electric field that these compact fluorescence bulbs throw into a room. Now that's measuring over 1,000 volts per meter right there. And that electric energy is going through you, through your body to ground. I know there's a lot of people that are having adverse reactions to them, headache, fatigue, the chronic pain that I felt.
Magda says she's heard it all before, the doubts, questioning whether they're really sick.
Well, there's definitely something there. One of the ways that you can determine whether or not you're sensitive to the light bulbs is if you have them in your home, simply turn them off for a few days and find out if any of your symptoms disappear, the symptoms that you're concerned about.
Okay, let's review. UV, headaches, skin problems, and of course mercury. So the old light bulbs are being banned in 2012. Manufacturers are scrambling to create new ones. The best choice for the future may be these, LEDs, light-emitting diodes.
And it's reading 27. It doesn't contribute to dirty electricity at all.
No mercury, no health concerns, and way more efficient than the curly bulbs. But right now, it's compact fluorescence.
People go to their doctors aren't aware of this as an issue. And so very often they try to treat them and nothing seems to work. And then they recommend that they go see their psychiatrist because they think it's a mental disturbance. And I think that's such a shame because it's such an easy thing to resolve.
This is so frustrating. We're told to do the right thing. Now, doing the right thing may make people sick. Allison is with us now. Allison, it seems like there's no winning here. And Mary, time is running out. The federal government has set a deadline. By 2012, you have to use something that's energy efficient. And right now, that's compact fluorescence. All this is happening when people don't have any other real options. So we'll continue to fight for answers.
Tonight on Be Green, the dark side of compact fluorescents. Turns out they might be saving you energy, but costing you in other areas. Here's environment columnist Gina Carney.
CFLs or these curly light bulbs have become the symbol of the green revolution. But they might not be such a bright idea. First of all, they contain mercury, which can make them dangerous if they break, and they're difficult to recycle. But now studies show that there may be even bigger consequences to your health. They're nice looking and energy efficient and come highly recommended by, well, your government. But they might be making you sick because CFLs produce what's called dirty electricity. I Skyped with an expert in the field, Professor Magda Harris, to find out exactly what this means.
Clean electricity is a smooth sine wave. It just goes up and down 60 times a second. And when you have dirty electricity, you have these spikes that right on top of it. And these are high-frequency transients. And we know that they affect electronic equipment, and we're learning that they also have effects on humans.
Harris talks about the effects on diabetics.
We can take a person who has a certain level of blood sugar, put them into an environment where they're exposed to dirty electricity or radio frequencies, and their blood sugar will begin to climb. We can then move them into a clean environment, and their blood sugar will begin to fall. So we can turn it on and off just like a light switch. We've worked with people who have multiple sclerosis, and when they're in a dirty environment, their neurological symptoms are bad, and when they're in a clean environment, they improve.
Havas also mentioned one study in a school in Wisconsin.
And one of the things they found with the students is that when they cleaned up the power quality in the school, they improved power quality. They found that 37 of the students who had asthma and required inhalers on a daily basis stopped using them. They stopped using them in the home and in the school environment, but they still needed to use them in the home environment.
Let's go to my house now, where Tom Nader, an EMF or electromagnetic frequencies expert, is helping me do an experiment. We want to see how much
Now, did y'all know this, though?
CFLs change the EMF field in my home.
Because before I saw this, I didn't know.
We start with the base reading. This is when nothing but the fridge is running. Then we try an incandescent bulb. No change. Ditto a halogen bulb. Now a CFL. Holy. Even worse, the effect of CFLs is cumulative. So more CFLs equal more dirty electricity.
The more CFLs you add throughout your house, in a typical home, I counted in my home, I've got 50 light bulbs, right? And if I replace them all...
Nada says there are viable options for those looking for safe energy efficiency. For example, a GS filter or a Graham-Stetzer filter which cleans the power on your circuit. Or...
So this is an LED bulb. It doesn't produce dirty electricity. There's no mercury in them.
Plus, they're the most energy-efficient bulbs on the market, and they last longer than your average CFL. I've posted more information on my blog, including some of Dr. Havas's research. Log on to cbc.ca/Montreal@6 and look for the Be Green link. And I want to know, would you still buy and use compact fluorescent light bulbs, or will you bring them to a recycling center? Leave me a comment or call 514-597-5626. I'm Geeta Nakarni. Until next time, be green.
Yeah. What up, Bishop? Alright, we ain't gonna listen to that part, man. I'm gonna go ahead and speak to you. Well, we just heard about dirty energy, man. How many of y'all right now got them light bulbs in your house? How many of y'all got headache problems? How many of y'all got rashes? How many of y'all is going through effects that your doctors probably can't even tell you what's wrong? You wanna know why they can't tell you what's wrong? Because they don't believe that these lights is causing people to have these problems. But they are, because they paid by the same people that make the lights. Ding, ding, ding. So they're not going to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? These doctors want to get paid off you coming in there with illnesses like that, and they're not telling you what it is. And I bet they'll prescribe you all kind of pills and everything for your headache. And them pills is eating your body up. So now you got a different problem, because you're taking these heavy pills because they think you got a migraine from just having a migraine. And your migraine is because you got this dirty energy and these light bulbs in your house. But they getting paid off of all of that. And ain't that what Kanye said? They getting paid off of all of that. Real talk, man. So, evaluate your household, man. Get them light bulbs out. It's your boy D, man. I'm signing out. It's been another great premiere. I thank all y'all for coming out. Shouts out to the squad. Shouts out to all my peoples, man. And I'll see y'all on the next go. Remember, if you ain't getting knowledge, you ain't getting nothing. I do this.